Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out and spending the morning with us. We're super excited to be out here celebrating Jeremy Kelley's Why Not You football camp. My name is Abby Hammonds. I'm the Vice President of Inspire Sports and Entertainment. We are very familiar with the Buffalo market. We've done a few events here in the past, so we're super excited to be back out here helping Jeremy with his camp for his 4th annual year. Obviously a huge impact in the community and something that he cares for a lot, coming back here and giving back to his community. So I'll let Jeremy speak more on that at the start of the show.
Okay. Thank you, Abby. All right. Good morning. Appreciate everybody coming out today, and staff, friends, family, our athletes coming out to support as we get ready to launch 2025 Jeremy Kelley Why Not You camp right here at West Seneca West High School. Look, the vision of this camp really came from high school coaches Mike Vastola, Joe Cantafio, where they wanted to get something going here at West Seneca West, right? We wanted to give the kids an opportunity to be coached outside of the confines of school football, right? And so they know me, and anything that we do, if we were going to do it, we had to go all in. And so this camp is in year 4. We're really excited how it's grown. The support from the community, from friends, from family, parents in the area that have brought their kids and trust us with their sons and their daughters as we've grown this thing. So looking forward to another successful year. June 6th and 7th right here at West Seneca West High School. We got our Little Legends group on Friday night at 6 to 8 p.m. and then our Rising Stars on Saturday, June 7th, 11 to 1:30. The vision here is really to just bring homegrown pros back to Buffalo with NFL legends, where our pros are coaching kids, giving them that experience. They can see kids who walk the same hallways, played on the same fields, had the same dreams that they did, and they can put that into practice. They can see a tangible vision. They can see the product and think, maybe, why not me? So that's it. I was one of those kids growing up right here in Buffalo, New York, and that's the goal. So we thank our sponsors that have joined us. We thank our players, our legends, our collegiate athletes, our high school volunteers, our teachers, our students who have come out. It's just been overwhelming support. Friends and peers. I think of guys like Naaman Roosevelt, St. Joe's, probably a Hall of Famer at St. Joe's, but certainly a Western New York legend. Doug Worthingtons of the world. Buffalo Bills legends like Thurman Thomas, Darryl Talley, Stevie Johnson, and so many more that I could mention. This year, our coaching lineup is another star-studded one. We're excited for it. Our coaching announcements are continuing to roll out as we go along, and we are just inside 30 days now of the camp. So really, really excited for what we have and what we're building and what we're offering student-athletes in Western New York. So once again, reiterating, this is a co-ed camp. We champion girls flag football as much as we do any other practice. So position-specific training, hands-on flag instruction, competition sessions. We're going to get after it out here. I can't wait. And, we're super excited. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it along, if I can, to my high school football coach, Joe Cantafio. I don't want to get them by mess up the order, but let me introduce who's a father figure to me, just a community ambassador, and also in all of the city of Buffalo, Damaris Johnson. So we'll bring both of you up at the same time here, all right?
Thank you all for coming out. Coach Cantafio and myself, as Jeremy just mentioned, he was his coach, high school coach, and I've been a part of Jeremy's life as a father figure, as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer. And I've watched him develop into the young man that he is today, and his heart to give back to the community and include his family in that process. So I'm a part of helping structure the camp, put the camp together. I've been doing this for 25 years, since I've training as long as, the Gronkowskis, when they were coming out, and Jeremy and Desmond and all those other kids from the area. We've been doing football camps, and I can say that there's not a camp that has this type of impact that we've had in this area since I can remember. Everything that we do, from the coaches to the training to the structure to the inspiration to the motivation, that will take a student athlete from questioning whether or not they're able or they're capable to believing in themselves to be able to do once they go through the inspiration and the structure that we give them. So I'm here to continue to establish that motto, that mission in this year's camp for 2025, and I look forward to kids from all over the area coming and being a part of what it is that that Jeremy's given birth to and has added to each and every year. It's going to be a great time, exciting time, and we look forward to as many of our Western New York student athletes, from our little legends to those who are looking to get Division I scholarships, to be a part of this year's camp, so that we can help them further establish in their mind it's not just to go from why not me to it's going to be me. And that's the idea we want to have and the thought we want to communicate. And again, we thank you guys for all the coverage, and I'll let Joe share a little bit about what his role is.
Thanks, Damaris. I couldn't be more proud to be here with everyone here, especially Jeremy, that I had the honor to coach. And one of the things I share every year at the camp with all the little legends and the high school players is when they look at Jeremy now and they see this former professional athlete and they say, oh my God, that's not me. I was fortunate to be with Jeremy from when he was in middle school on up and when he wasn't the starting player. But the thing he always had, his character, his heart, his vision, and he believed, why not him? From when he was not this tall, from when he was here, which didn't last very long, but he always represented that. And he always told me, Coach, and after I make it, I'm coming back and we're going to make sure that everybody understands that it can be them. And he always had that vision, he always had that optimism, and he always had that confidence. And I couldn't be more proud that he comes back to his old high school and he shows these kids that it can be them, as Damaris said. I'm very proud of a program we started this year too. In fact, I'm going to ask Aiden and Oliver to come on up here with me. So this year what we started doing is every year, and I thank Mike Fastola, the current head coach, for allowing us to do this. And I go to the games and we watch the game and we try to find a player in that game that reminds us of Jeremy. That player who might not be the one who scored all the touchdowns, but the one who doesn't come off the field, that represents that player that is going to do everything they can for their team and they're going to put it all out on the field. And I've got two, Oliver and Aiden, were two of the players this year that were recognized, and we were proud to recognize them at the end of the game for reminding us of what Jeremy was like and being so committed off season during that game, and that producing the results during that game. We also this year are going to begin to give out a scholarship, a Why Not You scholarship, to a player that epitomizes that optimism, that confidence, that work ethic, and that character that Jeremy had and continues to have now, and we're so thankful he's bringing it back. And I'm so proud to not only be here with Jeremy, a former player, but with two current players that represent this legacy that Jeremy has brought back to us, continuing on. So thank you guys for being here, and Jeremy, thank you for the honor of continuing to be here with you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Good for any questions that you got? Yeah, cool, for sure. Thank you, guys.
Now, when you were coming up through the ranks, high school, college, and pros, when did you know that you were going to come back and have a camp?
So, I said this earlier on a call. I think you when you see other guys do it, right? I never take for granted. We grow up in an NFL city that has a team. There's only 32 of those in the entire country. We live 10 minutes from the Buffalo Bills. So for me to see the Jerry Butler camps coming up, the Jim Kelley camps coming up, I always said to myself, I want to do that. I want to host that. I want to bring that back home. And so kudos to those guys who are great friends and mentors of mine, and JB and JK, that, they don't know it, but I guess it kind of instills something in me as a kid to be able to deliver on. So, yeah.
When you're watching the kids run around having fun,
yeah.
For you,
yeah.
What's the most fun part? Seeing them get better, interact?
Man, yeah. I think that is a great part, right? Especially a kid that might be a little shy, a little timid, but then when he gets out there and he can't stop, you don't want to leave camp after he's out here, right? He's maybe at first he's not sure what to do. He's never been to a football camp, but we make this such a welcoming environment, man, that it doesn't matter what your skill level, we're gonna take care of you. I love seeing the girls get after it as well while they're out here competing. Outshining some of the little boys too. But I would say also. I went to an Orchard Park Little League game a couple years ago to watch a good friend of mine's son play, and seeing little kids with blue and gold on over in Orchard Park with my logo, that was cool. That was cool. That was good to see, especially a crosstown rival there. So yeah.
If there's one thing that a parent or anyone that wants to bring their child here, there's just one thing they can take away from you, in your eyes, what would it be?
A belief. Vision is possible, right? We're in Buffalo, New York. 6 months out the year, not every kid's outside playing, having the opportunity to get on a football field and play catch. But we're bringing something here that hasn't existed. We're bringing something here that kids will never experience or might not ever experience anywhere else, right? Might not have the opportunity. I remember the first time I met a pro athlete, and that was Damaris Johnson, who was just standing here. You don't forget that. And so for me to be able to give that experience to a child, to a young athlete, to a high school kid who thinks, man, can I go to college? Can I play at the next level? Can I go professional? We're going to give you the people who can say you can, right? And we're going to show you this is the work. We're going to drop some gems on you that this is what you're going to need to do to get there. So for me, that stuff isn't cliche, it's practice. And that's what we hope to do through the camp.
This is my last question.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to do it here? I know a lot of people, they'll hold their camps in maybe another city that they played in.
That's right.
Maybe where their home base is.
Yeah.
But you're back home.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was one of those kids, right? Like, I would have given everything to go to a camp like this, right? And that's why. That's simple. That's simple. This is home to me, right? This is Buffalo. So this is the high school. I spend more time on this track and on this field than people know, all hours of the day and night. And so to come back here where I put in my work, where I made it happen, where I made it possible, where I questioned if I was good enough, and now to be able to give somebody else that vision means a lot. Means a lot. Yeah.
You already announced a few of the coaches here.
Yeah.
Who did you choose there?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are just existing relationships. I mentioned guys like Naaman Roosevelt and Doug Worthington, who we all grew up training together right here. Really excited to have Joe Andressen, current Buffalo Bills linebacker, join us. Right. For me, I'm celebrating Joe. He's a hometown kid. He's a product of what we do, right, and what we're trying to instill in these young athletes. So great to have him on board. I just got a call from Marcus Sullivan, who's a former Buffalo Bills lineman. Joe Burns, who is a former Buffalo Bill running back. We have Tony Richardson, who's a Kansas City Chief Hall of Famer. Thomas Davis, NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year. We have hundreds of years of football experience coming back here to Buffalo to coach our kids. So the list goes on. I know I'm missing some guys. Darren Stone, Lockport native, also my college teammate at the University of Maine, who played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. So just grateful to have this level of support, man. And it's going to be a fun staff. It's a high-energy staff. But, I mentioned the pros. There's college kids that are coming out here. But I will also say this. Our coaches are great men, great leaders. I know we'll have some ladies out here as well that are coaching and assisting with flag football too. So we're just excited to pour back into the community.
Back to the girls flag part. Why do you think it's important to continue to grow that game?
I'll tell you what, that's one of my favorite parts of the camp, man. I love to see them compete, and there's some athletes. So for me, as an ambassador of the NFL, I would say right now, coming up on a decade of working in the league, we've seen the way that the game is going. We've seen the growth. We've seen, LA 28, girls flag football is an Olympic sport. We need to champion that now for these girls to say, like, they might not, they can't play in the NFL. I can go to the Olympics and represent my country. So I think it's super important to give them that, to pour that back into them and to speak it. So it's really fun to have that level of inclusion.